Hello again, and welcome to the British Accent Podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Emily. Today, we're diving into something that a lot of us probably feel deep down, but don't always say out loud. What if peace is more important than success?
Yeah. It's such a simple idea, but kind of radical, isn't it? We grow up with this constant push to make it, whatever that means, career, money, achievements, the usual milestones.
Exactly. But somewhere along the way, we don't always ask ourselves, at what cost? Like, sure, you can climb the ladder, build the business, win the awards, but if you're constantly anxious, restless, burnt out, is that really winning?
It's wild how we've normalized stress as a sign of progress. Like if you're not exhausted, you're not doing enough. But I don't think peace and ambition have to cancel each other out.
No, they don't. You can still want to grow, still dream big, but maybe with softer edges. Maybe success isn't just about how far you go, but how well you feel along the way.
That's it. Like, how many people are quietly succeeding on paper but feel completely empty on the inside? The world applauds their status, but no one sees their sleepless nights, their loneliness, or that constant pressure to keep performing.
And I think sometimes we don't even realize we're chasing someone else's definition of success. We're just caught up in the momentum, doing what we think we're supposed to do.
Yeah, following a blueprint we never even agreed to. Then one day you wake up and think, wait, why am I always tired, and why doesn't this feel like joy?
Peace doesn't get enough credit. It's quiet. It's not flashy. It's not something you post about. But it changes everything: how you sleep, how you think, how you show up in your life.
It's like when you're not constantly fighting your own mind, you have more space to live. To just be. And that feeling? That might be more valuable than any promotion or big win.
Totally. And I think peace is deeply personal too. For one person, it might mean slowing down. For another, it might be cutting ties with toxic expectations. It's not one size fits all.
Right. And maybe peace isn't the absence of ambition, but the presence of alignment. Like your goals still exist, but now, they don't cost you your well-being.
And the thing is, peace often looks boring from the outside. It's not dramatic, it's not loud. It's choosing rest when the world says hustle. It's saying no without guilt. It's letting go of timelines that make you feel like you're constantly behind.
And that's probably why people overlook it. Because it doesn't get you applause. No one's giving you a trophy for going to bed on time or turning your phone off to protect your mental space.
But honestly, those are the wins that matter in the long run. Like, when you look back at your life, you probably won't care how many emails you sent, or how many hours you worked. You'll remember the peace you felt on slow mornings, or how calm you were when you used to panic.
Yes, and I think sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop proving yourself and just live in a way that feels kind to your nervous system. That's real strength, choosing peace in a world addicted to proving.
And it doesn't mean you stop growing. It just means you stop growing in directions that hurt. Like, you're allowed to walk away from things that no longer fit, even if they once felt like the dream.
That part's hard, though. Especially when success is tied to identity. You think, if I let this go, who am I? But the truth is, peace might be the space where you find out who you actually are, without all the noise.
Exactly. Peace brings you back to yourself. When you're not running on survival mode, you notice the small joys again. You find clarity. And often, you realize you never needed half the things you were chasing.
And maybe that's the irony. Once you prioritize peace, success starts to feel more natural. Because you're no longer chasing, you're flowing. You're creating from a grounded place, not out of fear or pressure.
There's so much wisdom in slowing down. Like, just because something is urgent doesn't mean it's important. Peace helps you separate the two.
It's like you start designing a life instead of reacting to one. And suddenly, everything feels less like a race and more like a rhythm that actually suits your soul.
And you know what else? When you're at peace, you become a gentler person to be around. Not because you're perfect or always calm, but because you're not constantly carrying the weight of needing to prove yourself.
Yeah, you're not on edge all the time. You listen more. You laugh easier. You're less defensive because you're not in survival mode. It changes your relationships, your work, even how you treat strangers.
Exactly. And I think people feel that energy, even if they can't name it. There's something powerful about being around someone who is genuinely settled in themselves.
It's magnetic. We chase big, dramatic versions of success, but deep down, I think what a lot of us really want is to feel safe in our own minds. To feel like we're enough, even when we're not producing anything.
That's the real shift, isn't it? When you stop measuring your worth by output, and start seeing value in your existence. Just being, breathing, resting, feeling. That's not laziness. That's living.
And it doesn't mean you give up on growth. You just start asking better questions. Not, how fast can I get there, but, is where I'm heading even good for me?
We don't ask that enough. We get so focused on finishing the race, we forget to check if we're running on a path that feels right. Peace slows you down just enough to look around.
And maybe realize you're not behind, you're just not in a rush anymore. You're building something sustainable, not just impressive. And that's more valuable than any shiny achievement.
Yes, because what's the point of success if it costs your joy? If you can't sleep, can't breathe, can't enjoy the life you're working so hard to create.
Exactly. Maybe peace isn't just the reward at the end. Maybe it's meant to be part of the journey.
And I think peace makes you more creative too. When your mind isn't in overdrive, there's actually space for new ideas to come through. You're not just reacting, you're imagining, dreaming, connecting dots.
That's such a good point. Like, when I was caught up in the grind, I thought I was being productive. But really, I was just busy. And being busy isn't the same as being purposeful.
Yes, and when you move from that grounded, peaceful place, your choices feel more intentional. You're not just saying yes to everything. You're curating your life around what truly matters to you.
And weirdly enough, that's when things start aligning. Not because you forced them to, but because you finally stopped resisting who you are. You gave yourself space to align instead of constantly chase.
And that's the brave bit, isn't it? Choosing peace in a world that tells you your worth depends on what you produce. It's like swimming upstream, but it's worth it.
It is. And once you've had a taste of real peace, it's hard to go back. Because success without peace just feels hollow. But peace, even without the glitter, feels whole.
I'd take calm mornings and clear thoughts over a packed schedule and praise I can't even enjoy. Any day. Because that quiet contentment, that's the real win.
It's the kind of success you don't need to post about. You feel it in your bones. You live it. And that's enough.
And what's interesting is, the more you prioritize peace, the more you begin to redefine success altogether. It's no longer this far-off destination, it becomes something you feel in the little things.
Right. Like a quiet cup of tea in the morning where no one needs anything from you. Or walking without your phone, just noticing the sound of your footsteps. Those things used to feel ordinary, but now they feel rich.
They're everything, really. And they remind you that you're allowed to feel joy even if you haven't ticked all the boxes yet. You don't have to earn that feeling, it's not a reward, it's your right.
That's a powerful mindset shift. Because for so long, we're taught to delay rest, delay softness, delay pleasure until we've accomplished something worthy. But what if just being is worthy?
Exactly. What if peace isn't the opposite of ambition, but a foundation for it? Like, maybe we get more done, not less, when we stop living in panic mode.
And not just more done, but the right things. aligned things. Because panic makes you grasp, but peace lets you choose. There's clarity in stillness.
Yes, and it also helps you see through the noise. Like, what everyone else is doing stops mattering so much. You don't feel the pressure to compete, you're just doing your thing, your way.
And that's so freeing. You stop performing. You stop pretending. You let go of the mask, and suddenly life feels more honest, more yours.
Because you're not trying to be impressive anymore, you're trying to be well. And that shift, that's everything.
So if you're listening to this and feeling like you're falling behind just because you're choosing rest, calm, or a slower pace, maybe you're not falling behind at all. Maybe you're actually catching up with yourself.
And that might be the most important kind of progress there is. Don't let a noisy world convince you that peace is boring, or that slowing down means you're not growing.
Because at the end of the day, success without peace is just noise. But peace? Peace is something you can build a life on.
Thanks for being with us today. Whatever stage you're in, running, resting, rebuilding, just know you're allowed to choose peace.
You always are. Take care of yourself. We'll catch you again soon on the British Accent Podcast.